Good evening. Welcome to Disciple, Lesson 31, Holiness. Does that word make you nervous? When we read the human condition, I think the author says it very well. I don't want to be different. Even appearing to be different makes me uncomfortable. People ridicule others who seem strange and out of step with the crowd. I surely don't want to be thought of as holy. I don't even want to be holy. What a bore! Nothing turns folks off more than pompous, proud, self-righteous, holier than thou attitudes. We all understand those feelings, yet somehow in our pursuit of the Christian faith, we are invited to be a holy people. Let's talk about that for just a minute. On page 230 of your book, holy has the same root as words like whole, wholesome, holistic, heal, health, and hallow. To be holy is to be whole, clean, healthy, harmonious. I would add the word congruent. That when we think of living a holy life, there's an openness, an honesty with oneself. To take that fearless moral inventory, to let people in, to let them see, to work on the things within us that are broken. Doesn't mean we're going to be perfect. We're never going to be perfect. It's about a state of our heart. When Methodist preachers are ordained, they're asked a series of questions. They're historic questions. And John Wesley taught a doctrine called perfection. And Methodist preachers are asked, do you expect to be made perfect in this life? Now, how many people answer that and we're uncomfortable? Well, everyone. Do you expect to be made perfect in this life? Not the way we understand perfection. But what Wesley was talking about wasn't that we would be sinless. We know that's impossible. What Wesley was talking about is being made perfect in love. Learning to live your life as a person of love. That the intentions of your heart always would be loving. That we would strive after a life where we were always seeking to love. We might still make mistakes. Sometimes it might not work out very well. But to be made perfect in love, it is to seek to have a heart whose intent is always to love God, to love self, and to love neighbors. This lesson talks about being set apart. It uses the example of baptism, that as a Christian, when we're baptized, we are set apart. We are agreeing, we are basically saying, I want to be a follower of Christ. And the sign of water is a picture of cleansing. And we are set apart in baptism. We're baptized into Christ. Just kind of a sidebar about Methodist teaching on baptism. I like what the Methodist Church teaches on baptism. We believe that a person is not baptized into the local church. You're not baptized into Woods Chapel. You're not baptized into the Methodist denomination. You're baptized into Christ. Consequently, we don't rebaptize people. We don't discount the baptism from another denomination. If someone is baptized as a Presbyterian or a Catholic, we accept that because they were baptized into Christ. Likewise, when someone comes to us from another United Methodist Church, we don't rebaptize them. They're not being baptized into our congregation. If they were baptized once, they're baptized into Christ, set apart for the Christian life. Another example mentioned in the book that I think is a wonderful picture of the concept of being set apart is that of marriage. You date. Some people date a long time. But when you get married, you're saying, this is the one. This is the person. This is my life. This is my love. And there's an investment in that person, in that marriage. We pour our hearts into that to make that work. And marriage is a type, a picture of God's love for his people, That's why the church is sometimes referred to as the bridegroom, or the bride, and Jesus is the bridegroom. There is this wonderful picture of love, of fidelity, of commitment, of desire and pursuit of this person only. And of course, marriages get in a lot of trouble when people forget that. Another example of being set apart that's not mentioned in your lesson is that of membership in the local church. We love for anyone to attend our church, and you can attend here and not be a member. And probably some of you watching this tape are not members, and that's fine. We never want to twist anyone's arm to join the church. The benefit of joining the church is actually a benefit to the person joining, because what they're saying in effect is, I'm in. I'm not visiting anymore. I'm not looking around. This is my place. I'm making a commitment. They are making a decision to get on the team in a full, complete, and determined sort of way. So that's one of the importance of church membership, that it sets you apart as somebody that says, hey, I'm on board, I'm here for the long haul. Your lesson talks about the difference between holy and holier than thou. And if we read on 232, the Pharisees of Jesus' day broke hospitality with the world and withdrew into a rigid adherence to the law that resulted in self-righteousness and aloofness. They became holier than thou rather than holy as God as holy. This can happen. Describe how you have seen it happen sometimes to Christians. Well, we all know people who act like they're better than others, or they think they're better than you, or they look down their nose and they're scorning you. And oh, isn't that so painful? And isn't it so unlike Jesus? Jesus, who was accused with running with sinners and drunkards and prostitutes. And interestingly enough, I read the other day, Jesus isn't accused of running with former prostitutes or reformed drunkards or former sinners. He's accused of running with broken people. Holiness does not mean holier than thou. Holiness means we're pursuing a life of love, and we are seeking to be the most normal, relevant people that we can. I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, but when Jesus walks out on the Sermon on the Mount, people are not attracted to him because he's wearing special clothes or because he acts like he's high and mighty. The Pharisees are doing that. People are attracted to Jesus, to the heart of Jesus, to the holiness, to the healthiness of Jesus, because he is normal and relevant. People just wanted to be with him. And if being with him made them feel like they had an opening to be closer to God, I hope you see that you can have a great gift and a great impact on others as well, when you, in a very normal way, help people understand that they are accepted, that they are loved, that they don't have to pretend or jump through hoops, that God wants them in his family. And so we serve a great role in God's family as those who can reach others. And it's a healthy, whole thing, not a holy other than thou thing. I think about holiness as we are on a mission for God. Not in a pompous way, not in a braggy way, hey, I'm going to Africa mission, but just an awareness that every day you're on God's mission. You might have thought you just stopped at the gas station and went inside to pay for something. You might have thought that 5 or 10 minutes was about you going to the gas station. But during that 5 and 10 minutes at the gas station, you were on a mission for God. And how you speak to those people and care about people in those encounters in the gas station, that says everything about who you are, about what's in your heart, about the healthiness, about the wholeness, the holiness, the congruence, the joy, the goodness that should spring from the life of a Christian. So don't be nervous. Don't feel funny about the word holy. Think of wholesome and the goodness, the love that came from Jesus, and let's emulate that. So that's lesson 31. Thanks for listening to me. I hope you have a great lesson tonight. And again, it is my deep, deep privilege to be your pastor.